Hello and welcome along to the match where the international break is over, the players are back and Real Madrid are ready for the final and most crucial part of the season. There is of course a Champions League quarter-final clash to look forward to against Galatasaray next week, but before that Madrid are preparing for a trip to Zaragoza in the league on Saturday evening. With me to look ahead to that match is Tim Stannard. Tim, welcome along.
Nice to be here.
Now, could a game against Zaragoza perhaps be the perfect way for Madrid to sort of ease back into things after the international break?
I think easing is the word because they are playing perhaps the worst team in Spain at the moment. However, it doesn't want to be too easy for them because they have got those big matches against Galatasaray coming. They've had a couple of weeks off where the players have been away, so I think they want something in between. They don't want it too tough, but they don't want an easy time. They want a little bit of a sparring partner for this match. We're
going to be talking about Zaragoza in just a moment, but let's focus on the international break and some of the Madridistas who stood out. Sergio Ramos winning his 100th cap for Spain at the tender age of just 26, an incredible achievement.
It's quite astonishing. I wrote an article on that and people were saying, A, they had no idea that he was 26 because he's been around for so long with both Sevilla and Real Madrid, and B, 100 caps is quite incredible. Normally, it's a player who's perhaps in their early 30s pick that up, but Sergio Ramos doesn't seem to have been injured ever, touch wood, and he's been in ever-present both at full-back and centre-back. I think that's another reason for his success. He's extremely versatile. If I had to clone one footballer to play in all 11 positions, it would be Sergio Ramos. I think he can play anywhere on the pitch, which makes him just completely impossible not to have him around in the Spanish setup.
Absolutely. Sergio Ramos winning his 100th cap for Spain. Fortunately for Real Madrid, all the players who went away on international duty came back without really any injuries. Very, very important.
Absolutely, because they have had some difficulties in the past, especially with Marcelo. And on the whole, I thought, well, although Benzema had a difficult time for France, it went very well for the Madrid players in terms of form and in terms of results and in terms of staying injury-free. Varane got his cap for France. Higuain looked very good against Argentina and he scored 2 goals against Venezuela. He also got to sit out that horror match, you could say, up at altitude against Bolivia, which Angel Di Maria suffered from a little bit. So he'll be fairly fresh, I think. And, yeah, Sergio Ramos, Arbeloa, a little bit overlooked. I thought he had a great game for Spain as well. Looking after Ribery and Xabi Alonso as well. So very good news, I think, coming back. No major injuries, and either from Modric or what we're forgetting about as well is the Germans in the team. Ozil looked very good against Kazakhstan in both matches, and so did Sami Khedira. So far, doesn't look like any major problems.
We talk about the international break as if it's something to be feared, but sometimes it can actually spur players on. If they go away, have a good international break, score goals, play well for their national side, they can come back and replicate that form for Madrid.
I think that's certainly the case for Gonzalo Higuain. I think he's not maybe had his best season. He's suffering a little bit from a lack of confidence, a lack of finesse, you could say, in front of goal. So to go away for Argentina, lead the line for a country which has got such fantastic attacking talent, they still have faith in him, knock in a couple of goals. I think it's a reminder of, yep, I've still got it, and that's going to be important now for these matches.
Absolutely right. Let's focus on the game against Zaragoza. And Xabi Alonso has been speaking about that trip to Aragon.
In the league, clearly things have not gone as we would have liked, and it's not an ideal situation. But we have to keep trying to do things well and trying to win every game. Zaragoza themselves are having some problems, and they have been on a pretty bad run of form. But we know every away match can be extremely tough, so I don't think it will be an easy game.
Xabi Alonso speaking there about the game against Zaragoza. Let's take a look at who Tim thinks is going to feature for Los Blancos in that match in La Romareda. And actually, you don't think Xabi Alonso is going to play?
No, I don't think he's going to play. I think pretty much everyone, you could say most of the first teamers are going to be rested for this match. However, Real Madrid has got a tremendous squad, so it's a team who's more than a match for Zaragoza. So the backlining, Arbeloa has had a very busy, you could say, couple of games, and same with Sergio Ramos. So I think we'll see Essien, Albiol, Carvalho coming back again, Pepe, 2 matches for Portugal, Israel and Azerbaijan, and Marcelo coming in. He had a friendly for Brazil. Pepe, I mean in the centre of midfield. Modric, I think he's got a lot of fresh legs. Callejon coming on the right-hand side, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo on the left. You might see Morata there, depends on Cristiano Ronaldo. He didn't have to play that game against Azerbaijan, so he's fresher. You know what? I think they're going to continue trying to get some more goals out of Gonzalo Higuain. If he scores, it'll be 3 games in a row, so I think we'll see him up front.
Absolutely, Gonzalo Higuain getting 2 goals in the last game against Mallorca. Let's talk a little bit about our opponents then, Zaragoza, who have been, as Xabi Alonso alluded to, on a really rather disastrous run of form, yet to win this year.
Yeah, a very political, I would say, very honest answer there from Xabi Alonso. They're not doing well at all, Zaragoza, but it's still going to be a tough game because it's away from... I don't think it is going to be a tough game. It's a side, for me, who have just lost a little bit of direction. It's hard to know how committed their players are to the cause because they have such a huge turnover of players coming in, players going out after a season, players on loan. And they have got a fantastic goalkeeper in Roberto and a very consistent goal scorer in Postiga, but he had a very busy time in international week. Not much elsewhere. As you said, they haven't won in 2013. They haven't scored in their last 3 games. The last footballer who is not Postiga to score from open play for Zaragoza was way back in January as Montañez. Apoño scored a couple of penalties. And I just sense that although Manolo Jimenez does talk a good game in fighting and struggling and passion and desire, I don't think it's shared by his players. This shouldn't be a difficult match for Real Madrid.
On paper, at least, it looks straightforward for Real Madrid. But as we all know, you never know what's going to happen on the road for Real Madrid this season. Let's take a look at some of the other games in the Spanish top flight this weekend. Get some predictions from Tim. Rayo against Malaga.
Yeah, Malaga very much focused on the Champions League, so home win.
Celta Vigo against Barcelona.
Celta in all sorts of trouble after that terrible defeat against Deportivo, so away win for Barcelona.
At La Romareda, it is Zaragoza against Real Madrid.
I can only see an away win in this particular match.
Just straight after that, it's Levante against Sevilla.
Sevilla awful away from home, but I think they might sneak a point here against Levante.
The midday kickoff on Sunday is Valladolid against Osasuna.
You can put everything you've got on a goalless draw in this match.
Will do. The big one at the bottom this weekend is Mallorca against Deportivo.
Probably the match to send Deportivo down at the end of the day. Home win for Mallorca.
La Real Sociedad have been so impressive in recent weeks' travel to Espanyol.
La Real are very solid away from home. Espanyol strong at home, so a draw.
An attractive-looking tie on paper at the Calderón, Atletico Madrid against Valencia.
Athletic keep up some good form, home win.
Athletic Bilbao hosting Granada.
A match that Athletic midfielder Ander Herrera said is life or death in a phenomenal game. I don't really see it myself, but a home win for Athletic.
And the Monday night game at 10 o'clock is Betis against Getafe.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Betis having to play on a Monday night at 10. It's a great team, they deserve better than this, but a home win against Getafe.
OK, those are Tim's predictions for match day 29, all the matches that are kicking off up and down the country here in Spain. Just time for us to get Tim's score and scorer prediction for the match in Aragon.
Here we go, I'm going to say 4-0 to Real Madrid, Higuain hat-trick, and another one from Modric.
Nice. Sounds good to me. 4-0 for Real Madrid, according to Tim Stannard. We did beat Zaragoza 4-0 earlier on this season, didn't we, at the Santiago Bernabeu. That's all we've got time for on this edition of The Match. Do join us next week. It's a busy old week as we build up to that Champions League game against Galatasaray. But from Tim and myself, it's adios.